Okay, first of all, I want to apologize to you all for not being there today. My son is sick, and my daughter was sick yesterday, so I had no choice, but I have to stay home with him today. So um, it's not fair to you guys, but I'm gonna try to do my best to, get you something out of today. So take the packet out. I know you've been working on the rest of the problems. You were supposed to do 10 through 18 last night, and I will check all of this when I get back. But so just go ahead and check your answers for numbers 1 through 5. I don't think we're going to have much problem finding a common denominator. That's really what you're doing when you're finding least common multiple. So if you need to, go ahead and stop the video, and you can check your answers. There's not too many, for like this one down here, you have to factor where you can, alright, and you have 2 r plus 1, r plus 1, and then regular r plus 1. So obviously that's a repeat, that's a common multiple, and then we have a 4, or an r, and a 2 that has to come out with it. And number 6 through 9, everything's fitting. Again, just kind of more of the same. This is going to happen a couple of times within the problems that we're doing today, to where we have 2 binomials here, 2 binomials here, but when you think about it, the only like multiple that we have is x plus 2, so that's written down once. But then I'm going to need both of these, x minus 3 and x plus 4. Same thing happens down here. We have 4 binomials altogether, and and over here it happens twice, and then it's repeated over here, but we also need this d minus 3. So that's why I have to write that twice, because it happened twice over on this side. Alright, 10 through, what is it, 22 or 25. So let's do this quick. I have it written down. I need AB on the right side. We have to multiply both sides, top and bottom, by B. Okay, so this is going to be 5 minus 7B on top, and I have, now the other thing I got to do is I have a 6 and an 8. If you think about a common multiple between those two, the least common multiple would be 24. 24AB. Now you got to think about this. How would I make this 24? I'd have to multiply by the top and bottom by 4. How would I make this one 24? I need to multiply the top and bottom by 3. So technically I have 20 minus 21B over 24AB. That's your final answer. So I wrote that out. I needed to make my coefficients the same. Alright, so I made those each 24. Okay, number 11. Again, I just rewrote the problem, so I have some room now. It looks like it's almost the same, but this one needs 2 more y's and this one needs 2 more x's. So if I multiply top and bottom by y squared on this one and x squared on that one, so let's see what happens here. So we have 5y squared. Down here I'm going to have 12x to the 4th y cubed minus, so you have x squared up top, and I did it again. It's going to be x to the 4th, y to the 3rd. Alright, so I have my variables looking the same, but again I still need the coefficients to come along. So think about what do I have to do. A common multiple here is 12. 12 times 5 is 60. Okay, so if I multiply top and bottom by 5, that's going to make that 60. If I multiply this top and bottom by 12, I'm going to make that 60. So now I have 25y squared over 60y to the fourth, y to the third. And of course, when I put that together, I get 60x to the fourth y cubed. So I'm just going to write this as minus 12x squared. And there's my final answer. So technically, when I was up here, I could have saved myself kind of a step. I could have multiplied by 5y squared and 12x squared all at once, and that would have led to this much quicker. I would have got 25y squared just like I did here. I would have got 12x squared for this one, and both of them would have turned into 60x to the fourth y cubed. Okay, number 12. I'm not going to forget to deal with the coefficient, right? I have a 6 and a 4. All right, think about it. The multiples of 6 are 6, 12, 18. Well, I can make this one 12 also. So if I multiply top and bottom by 2, that's going to make it 12. If I multiply this one top and bottom by 3, that's going to make 12 also. So I have the coefficient taken care of. But now I also need an extra c on this one, because I have c squared here. So I'll tack that on that end. And then this one I need another d squared to make d cubed. So let's put that all together. It's gonna looks like I have 12c squared d to the third. Alright, I would get the same thing here. 3 times 4 is 12. C times c is c squared, and then d to the third. Now what do I have up top? I'm going to write it all out. I have 2d squared, and it looks like I have plus 9c. And I can't do anything from there, so I'm done. Number 13. This one, I need 3mn on the bottom, so that's what I need to multiply by. So rewrite what we have. We obviously have 3mn on the bottom, on both bottoms, and then I have 4m plus 2 times 3mn is 6mn. Now, you can factor this, or you can factor a 2 and an m out of there. So that'd be 2 plus 3n over 3mn. Now, since I've pulled out a 2, or I pulled out an m, alright, these m's can now cancel out. So my final answer is, hopefully you can still see this, 2. So only when it's factored out. Now you may have thought back here that, hey, they all have an m, so you can get rid of all, and that's just as good, alright, without actually factoring out the 2 also. Okay, so technically I wouldn't be too hard on you if you have 4 plus 6n over 3n. Okay, it's the same thing. Okay, number 14. Now this one looks a little weird because we're not used to having an expression all by itself, but we could put that whole thing over 1, so it looks like we have 2 fractions, and technically I just need to multiply this one, and since I don't really have much room there, I'm going to just write it on this side. It's not a big deal. But when I multiply the quantity x plus 4 times 1, I just get x plus 4. But when I multiply it up here to this other quantity, this is a FOIL up here. A lot of students were forgetting either how to FOIL or they just weren't multiplying that together right. Alright, so don't relate, you have to FOIL that out. This one's set to go because I don't have to, it already is x plus 4. So the top there becomes, if I FOIL this out, I get 2x squared minus 5x plus 8x minus 20. Okay, so it looks like we have, when I put this together, I get 3x. Now, this is another thing you have to be a little careful with on this one. You're subtracting this whole quantity. Okay, so that's 2x squared plus 3x minus 20. Okay, when I subtract this whole quantity, it's subtract. Alright, so that's what the top looks like. And you might want to just, I guess this is all x over x plus 4. So we're running out of room here. But either way, when I look at this, I got to think of this as, distributing a -1. So that's negative x and that's plus 8. So finally we have 2x squared, a negative x, and a positive 3x is plus 2x. And then again, this is subtract a -8, so that's like adding 8 to that, so that's -12 over x plus 4. Now we might think we're done. Again, this is 14. And we could possibly pull a 2 out of all this if we wanted to, since 2 goes into that. But when it's all said and done, sorry, I think we're running out. So technically this is factorable, but it's not going to cancel out with this x plus 4. You could write this as x plus 3 and x minus 2 over x plus 4. So technically that's written a little bit more simplified, but nothing's going to cancel out. So I would take either one of these answers would work. Alright, that one took forever. Alright, 15. See if this one goes a little bit faster. Again, our common denominator is just going to be a minus 3 times a minus 5. This one needs an a minus 3. This one needs an a minus 5. Okay, so when I multiply this all out, I get 4a minus 20 plus 9a minus 27 all over a minus 3 and a minus 5. So I have some collecting like terms up top. I can do 13a. Put those together, you get negative 47. That's it. Okay, number 16. I had to FOIL, or factor. I factored the bottom left here, and this one needs x minus 4. So kind of a straightforward problem. The bottom's x plus 4 and x minus 4, and this becomes 16 plus 2 times x, and 2 times negative 4 is negative 8. So put those two together, you have 2x plus 8 over x plus 4 and x minus 4. Now you might think you're done, but we can factor out a 2 out of that top. And look what happens. So it matches up. Now we're in simplifying mode. And so this does happen sometimes. I know we were speculating this yesterday, whether sometimes you're going to have to simplify it further. And in this case you can, because you pull out a 2 of the top. And now we have x plus 4's that match up. So we end up with 2 over x minus 4 as our answer. So after you've added, see if you can simplify. Okay, I may need to stop this video because it's getting very long, but we'll keep going. Alright, here we go. So now this one I wrote out the first term exactly how it is, and this one, remember, these look almost exact. Alright, but we have to switch this. Now we know we can't just switch subtraction like that, but there's a little trick. If I switch subtraction, I have to put a -1 out front. That will keep it equivalent. Alright, and the power of that is then I can move that -1 up top how I see fit. So hopefully this doesn't make you too confused. Alright, I'm going to put that -1 up there and I'm going to make that positive. Alright, so I moved it up top, and here we go. So the top becomes, on the bottom we have m minus 9. Top is 2 minus 5m. Now I'm subtracting, or I'm adding. I got to multiply this -1 to this whole quantity. That's why parentheses are so important here. So you have -4m plus 5. And you put stuff together, it looks like you have -9m plus 7 over m minus 9. That's it. Okay, I'm going to stop this video and we'll look at the rest of them on the next video.